welcome to TEW 2016, the branding solution, and we are here at Extreme Rules, where we're going to have Sasha Banks defend her Women's Championship against Becky Lynch and Paige, Asuka defending her Intercontinental title against Alexa Bliss, we have Ember Moon versus Charlotte, Bayley versus Nia Jax in a last woman standing match, and many more. We are going to have a few odd pre-show matches that have no storylines behind them whatsoever. They're just a little bit extra to try and push a few people in the right direction. No NXT talent are used on this show. It is only the real roster, and we'll get one of our usual Battle Royals to fill up the unused talent. As we said on the last show, we are going to try and do something with Rosa Mendes and Cameron as a tag team named Bad Reputation. So we gave them their first victory over SAS. We thought we'd see where this goes. We never know. I want to start giving Naomi a proper push, so I gave her a nice victory in the pre-show. Not quite involved in any proper matches yet. We then have our new tag team Risk Reward. We did decide to bring these up permanently from NXT as a new sort of jobbing tag team. As you can see, Jessica and Cheerleader Musa are still just under 50, so they're not exactly one of the big teams, so I thought I'd let them pick up a victory over those two. I was going to use them as something else before I realised they were both set as faces, and there's no way of realistically turning them without them getting dreadful turn ratings. So one of my other plans has been put on hold for a while until I decide who I want it to be. We will now move into our Battle Royal. You know the state of this. We put all the major talent left. I put Alicia Fox to win. Taryn Terrell got the most eliminations, and Kaylee Ray and Ashley Lane lasted till the end. We got a few improvements across the board, but still, it's all it needed to do really. Keep everyone looking good. And we then give G-Next a victory over Technically Flawless. As you can see, they're both equal. They've both been in and around tag team title matches. I believe they are both heels, so it's not the best thing. But still, it just does what it needs to do. We've got two good teams there. So yeah, solid 50. The final match, yeah, these are the only two left. Sinatra Garrett defeats Stephanie Sinclair. They're never going to be a good match, not that important really, and I believe this is also a face-face. So I don't think we made it above 50 in the pre-show. It's not important, the pre-show, let's face it. We start the show with a look at the bigger matches. Made a slight balls up there. It was meant to be Nikki Cross thrown at the end because it's going to be her debut against a major talent rather than Nikki Bella. But as I said, we got the triple threat, the last woman standing in the Intercontinental. So yeah, makes everybody look good. We're getting somewhere. Nice start in 88. We went with Nikki Bella to defeat Mickie James in the opening match of the night. A 79 is a great rating for this. It's just trying to rebuild Nikki. After she's had a few defeats, she's not really had much going in her way. So we've gone with what you would class as veterans, as this card is very deplete of former women's champions, I noticed. I was thinking about it the other day, and I think we have Charlotte, Sasha, Gail Kim, Natalia, Mickie James, Nikki, Paige, and Alicia Fox. I believe that's all that's ever won a women's title. So yeah, two former champions going back at it, seeing if they're still ready to be at the top of their game. Nikki got the win here, as she's been on a down recently. We then do a bit of like a self-promo between Alexa Bliss and Asuka, hyping up the Intercontinental title match for later in the night. We have two of the biggest names in my company. Asuka is battling Sasha to be the most over in my business of the women, and I want to get Alexa to the top level too. in a tag team title match, which is brilliant. I did not expect to see it that good. Bad and Beautiful retain their titles. They're always going to keep them, I think, here, let's be honest. I just needed a face team to face them. And Candice and Brooke, they're above the 50s, which is solid, but Cheryl gets a 78, which is one of the best I've seen her get. If you look at negatives, it's actually Angel Williams, which is the only negative on the... And there's two in good chemistry tag teams. Excellent. 77, I like that rating. And afterwards, they do a proper heel celebration as they're ready to take on whoever wants to beat them. They can't be beaten, they are bad and beautiful. This was always going to be probably the worst match of the night. Nikki Cross demolishes Eva Marie in 2 minutes. It's slightly longer than her normal squash matches. And Nikki Cross looks devastating, even though Eva Marie improved. Even if she got a move in, Nikki Cross is continuing to roll up the card. Edge then has Stella Coleman and Joyce O'Brien and Cheerleader Melissa and Elisa Valdez in the manager's office and says that on SmackDown next week you will have your Queer in the Ring matches against each other, Stella versus Joyce and Cheerleader versus Velez. I've just done this to try and put a little bit of popularity in these four. It's simple enough, just setting up some matches. We then have Leve Bates defeat Carmella, but by disqualification, where G Next attacked Leve Bates. Carmella keeps her title. For some reason, G Next have targeted Leve Bates. This was going to be risk reward, because I felt that they could work well with Carmella, but not my luck. And then Carmella's talking and they continue to beat down. Carmella telling Leve Bates that was her last chance. She'll never get a chance at her debut title, even though the rules state that she could still get a chance. There hasn't been a stipulation, but it's kind of Edge implies that she won't be the number one contender with ease. Next time around, she's got to actually earn this shot. In the last woman standing match, Bayley defeated Nia Jax. I've imagined this ending a bit like what it was when Chris Jericho defeated Kane all those years ago in the last man standing, where Nia Jax does everything she can to defeat Bayley, but then Bayley finds something to pretty much bury Nia Jax under. So that's a nice 79 rating. It really keeps Bayley looking good too. And Bayley makes it back to the ring to celebrate with her fans, cheering her name. And then we have an Extreme Rules match where the Forgotten Generation pick up the victory over the New Midnight. We've gone with this because New Midnights have had the upper hand and the bigger tag team needs to win the final outcome, but they've boosted themselves a lot. Yeah, they're not very good at hardcore based matches, fair enough. But then, out of nowhere, Bad Reputation come and attack the Forgotten Generation. They're tired of being sort of underlooked, underused. They've teamed up, and they are coming after the Forgotten Generation and leaving them laying in the middle of the ring. Yeah, we're pulling the trigger on this for a while. See where it goes. In the match that was never going to be great, let's all be honest, Team Natalya defeated Team Gail Kim when it was Ludaka pinned or made Makoto submit. As we can see by performances, they're not all good. Natalya and Gail were the stars, but the thing is, the heel team have the better performances all round. It made sense for Natalya to get the win here for now, as Gail Kim cost Natalia the title at the last pay-per-view payback. We then have a little bit of a promo between the three women in the women's title match, cutting back and forth about how they're going to be champion, blah blah. You know where it's going. We then had Evie defeat Summer Rae when Emma accidentally hit Summer Rae. So Summer Rae sort of was holding Evie back. Referee wasn't paying attention, trying to fix the turnbuckle. And Emma came to hit hit Evie. Evie ducked. She clocked Summer Rae. Evie with a quick roll up. And we have a big victory for the young talent who runs out the ring and ends up bumping into Edge in the backstage area, who congratulates her on her first pay-per-view victory. That's a nice rating, just trying to pump Evie up a little bit. We then have Charlotte defeat Ember Moon by stoppage. I've gone with the idea that she had the figure 8 locked in and Ember Moon couldn't break it and passed out through the pain, a bit like what Austin did against Bret Hart. Yeah, we're gone with that storyline. I want to keep Ember Moon unpinned and unsubmitted in solo matches at the moment, and I feel this really worked. Ember was inconsistent and holding back. Otherwise, I feel this match really worked. An 81 rating is nothing to worry about. And after the match, Charlotte still refuses to let go of the hold. Ember Moon is passed out. Alicia Fox is screaming for her to let go of the hold. And Edge comes out and orders Charlotte to stop or she'll be excluded from the Queen of the Ring tournament. To which Charlotte reluctantly lets it go. Laughs, sort of smirks in Alicia Fox's face, and walks up the ramp laughing at what she's done. And with the hold released, the medical team rushed to the ring to help carry Ember Moon out of the arena, with the commentators asking the question, could this be the end of the young starlet's career? So yeah, it's a great rating. It's made Charlotte excellent and Ember Moon look really good against the top star. Ooh, in an I Quit match, Asuka defeated Alexa Bliss when she couldn't get out of the Asuka lock. And 85 retains her title. We're happy with that. We then throw Edge backstage. Ember's regained consciousness. Her legs are being wrapped up extra tight in braces, and Edge is just watching her and getting into the ambulance with her, as the good manager of the company would do. Ember Moon leaves the arena in an ambulance. We then have a package looking at Banks, Lynch and Page. We can go right back to the Women's Revolution, how they all came together and had their big little thing, and now they're coming back now to prove that they are the top for this women's title. And we get a 90. That is brilliant. Sasha Banks retains yet again by defeating Becky Lynch by pinfall. The way I sort of imagine this happening in my head is Paige actually hits the rampage on Becky Lynch. Sasha just pushes Paige out the ring, rolls into Becky Lynch's pin, gets the 1-2-3 and retains in the sneaky heel way. So a brilliant one. And after the match, Paige and Becky just sort of have a bit of a confrontation about what's happened in this match. They're both kind of not happy that they didn't walk out champion. And did we get got an 88. That's brilliant. I'm actually really happy with that higher rating on one of my women's only shows, because they always tend to go slightly wrong. I'm going to praise Amber for the work she put in. And shall we go with Nikki Bella. Praise is a good example. There they were also, and the same for the champ. Pleased, pleased, and pleased. So we're going to head back to the main screen and check what this has done for business. And we are now back to the main screen, so let's check the news. We have an awesome rating. That's always nice to see. Anything interesting there? And we have a brand new company. Interesting. I didn't know that this happened. They're an Eastern European one. They need a booker. They need some wrestlers. Any idea who this chap is? Not particularly. He's from Blackpool. Interesting. I did not know new companies started. Which, nice to know. Let's check the news. Eddie Edwards has had an offer. Eric Young. I can't do anything with Eric Young. That's the sad thing about this whole thing. I don't want to just break my rating, my thing with TNA in case they come after my talent. New booker position? Maybe, maybe not. Are not liked and are not liked. Great. Never mind then. We won't worry too much about them. They don't mean too much. Neither have big plans for me anyway. So the Bailey rebound, the Charlotte rebranding. Evie one was actually at its lowest point. Nikki, I like that rating. That is good too. That's solid as you can. That's good enough. That's good. And that's brilliant. So, which one's higher? The women's Intercontinental was rated higher. Now, I tried something new on here. I put these titles to floater. Okay, maybe not that one. That was meant to stay there. I was going to see if they did up. Yes, so we got 76 prestige on the Intercontinental. The women's one's gone up to 82, which is the highest I've seen it in a long time. As you can see, we are on 71. That's because the last match made that high. It was a good match, and it's going back the right direction, so we're happy with that too. And the creative meeting suggests that The Miz is probably the hottest property I have. G-Next and Evie are doing great. Rosa Mendes, camera's off the list. Actually, wrong way. We're going to go through it this way. As I found this way, being a lot more efficient. They're seeing popularity. We know that the other men were actually used on the pay-per-view, so we're not too worried about that. If we look here, where is Sasha's now back up to the top 15, one off the Rock, with Oscar and Paige on the top page. That's my women's on. Nikki Bella, Alexa Bliss, Bailey and Charlotte doing really well. Becky's slipping a bit, but not the end of the world. I believe that has actually gone up for Ember Mo. Let's just check. Let's see, that last match. So, okay, we were just in May, so we've really gone up another rating, which is good to see. We've got Emma at the bottom there. We went down 2, we should have Mickey James, Cheryl and Angel. Lovely Bates there. We got Peyton Royce going back the right direction. And Summer Rae there. Nikki. Who else do we have? Nia Jax, I believe, has gone up. And Alicia Fox seems to have gone up. As has Carmella. I don't think that one's gone the right direction that much. So we see TaylorMade. I fired her because she kept failing at drugs tests. And I also am trying to build her up to be the next big thing. I might as well just have to look at Evie through here, because that was a big victory for her on there. Well, nearly up to 50 for Evie. Evie's one that we've done all on our own, no cheating needed or editing needed. You can see she's gone up a whole video rating template. I like that. And Nikki Cross. I don't think that one did too much help for her, but still, always worth checking. So in the last month she's gone up another rating herself, so that's good. I already know where I want Nikki Cross to have her first rivalry with. So that's going to be Extreme Rules. We'll be back with Raw next time. So thank you all for watching.